Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. Tonight I'm going to be reviewing JW Lees Moonraker Strong Ale. Picked it up last weekend when I was at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. 6.5% volume. First brewed in 1950. Moonraker is a multi award-winning strong ale dedicated to a local legend. The story goes that local farmers, here we go, it's bloody dark, it's a bit dark. Local farmers fell in a pond attempting to rake out a reflection of the moon. They mistook for a truckle of Lancaster cheese. Hey, weirdos. But anyway, that's interesting, isn't it? But also, this is a combined Fantasy Island review. Went there yesterday with my wife and my little one, and I'll be talking about both things. Well, first things first, let's get a pour on. So, it's 9 o'clock on Sunday night. Whether I get this up tonight, I don't know, because I'm absolutely bolaxed. Been a bit of mad weekend. I mean, Saturday we're obviously at Fantasy Island, so you got a couple of hours driving each way, and then obviously a day on the park, and then today went for a Mother's Day dinner with my brother and his friends, his wife's family, and tonight we've had to strip out 2 rooms ready for them to be plastered tomorrow, and you know how much hassle that is. You know, moving stuff around in a house is hassle. So tomorrow they're downstairs talking in the dining room. Hopefully they'll make a good job and won't leave too much mess. Some tradespeople, you know, they aren't the best. So, wow, jet black body. Can't see any carbonation or lacing, but you know, you're not really are you? Creamy head. I can actually see lacing there in the light. Yeah. Oh, nice malty aroma coming from it. Oh, I can see it's an older beer because it's really strong on the old malty flavours coming from it. Cask version won Canberra's champion winter beer of Britain. So brewed for over 50 years. What does that tell you? This one that's outlasted time. You know, some of these beers, they will come and go and they're not that great. I do like JW Lees. They also do a dark ale, which is nice. But they also do that, if I'm right in thinking, that Governor's Marco Pierre. And that is not nice. But there you go. Got one of them all. So, from Rate Beer, 3.5 out of 5. Pours almost black with a thin beige head. Aroma is malt, sweetie, fruitcake, caramel. Taste is sweet, malty, caramel, some dark fruits, touch of licorice. Medium bodied, soft carbonation. Another review, 3.7 out of 5. Deep brown colour, nice off-white head. Rich and malty, sweetish, raisins, malt loaf, caramel. Nicely dry in the finish with a correct bitterness. Drinks well at ABV. A nice example of these strong ales. Yeah, not going to read anymore. Yeah, you know, straight away you can tell it's a nice bit of beer. Definitely getting winter, Christmas cake type, you know, flavour to it. Lovely. Definitely licorice in there. Obviously malts. Bit of caramel. Whoa, what a beauty. And a YouTuber, pal off YouTube, I think it's Dean's Beer Reviews. He said that you'll like this, and yeah, it's down Raggy Avenue. So, diverting. Fantasy Island, took over by the Mellors from administration a few years ago. It's a park that has got 2 sides to it. There's been some major good stuff happening in that park. You know, improvements inside the pyramid, if you know it. There's a pyramid inside. There's lighting that's got better. There's an indoor golf. The place has, you know, had a right good spruce up. The indoor golf is amazing for golf, for crazy golf. Absolutely amazing. You're on 2 levels. On one of the holes, you hit it in a hole and you actually go down a level. Unbelievable. Brilliant. We'll talk about Millennium. It's had a repaint, had new trains on. Yeah. A Vekoma. I don't know all the classifications, you'll have to excuse me, but I know it's a Vekoma roller coaster. And yeah, as smooth as they come. The repaint, great. Staff on that ride, fantastic. There's a lady who's talked to my son. Son's got autism. He's 8 years old. He's just big enough to go on that ride. And yeah, he was a bit scared. She comforted him, told him what to do. And very good, you know. Very impressed with the 2 people on that ride. Obviously, newcomers. They all look to me like the newcomers to the world of theme parks, you know, theme park operations. But a little bit slow probably, you know, in the summer months when it gets busy as hell, they're going to have to speed up. But for what we had the other day, yesterday, yeah, pretty decent, you know, and that girl, definitely top notch. So moving from there, Sea Odyssey, one of the second tallest roller coaster in the UK, if I'm correct. Anybody else? Another Vekoma, but this one you hang below the track. Millennium you sit above, that one you sit below. Still half the bloody train with sandbags on. Why can somebody not fix that issue? Surely Vekoma have got people who could come down and say, right, this is the issue, blah, 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 blah. What happened was, it went round once, got stuck in the middle of the track. And obviously they had to take it off and that ever since then they've had them on. But it's been couple 2 years or so now. You know, it's time, it might even be 3 years, it's time to get somebody in and get that sorted, because you're running on half a train all the time. And again, in the summer months when it's busy, it's a ball ache waiting, because it's only one train, as is Millennium, one train. You know, the roller coaster itself frightens the life out of me, and I love roller coasters, but when I'm on it I feel totally scared stiff. You hear I mean, it may be as secure as you can get, but it don't give me that impression. It scares the bejesus out of me. I don't think I'll be going back on it in a while, to be honest, because I just don't feel comfortable. You hear creaks and that on the roller coaster, and it just, I heard the same years ago when I went on it, and I mean, yeah, it's still going, so obviously it's okay, but scared me. Rhombus Rocket, another roller coaster, family roller coaster, brilliant. You get a 2-lap special on that, intertwines with the log flume. Yeah, great. The volcano, this shot tower, another brilliant, right? You know, I didn't go on it this time, but I have been on it before. That force as it shoots you up, Jesus, you know, it really gives you a walloping. Around the park, what I did notice in the park, some of the rides, there's some rides where they're running at half the seats aren't working. And there was this ship one where it turns round and bloody hell, it was jolty. But not only that, half the seats weren't being used. So they're either not being used because they're broke and they need fixing, or for some whatever reason. I presume they're broke. Same on one of these bouncing crazy frog things. That again, there was like four arms that weren't working, and the queues are always long for that. You know, it's just throw you about. Around the park, the Beast is going. So you got the ice, you've got the and the Beast, one of the best flat rides in Britain, and it's leaving after 10 or so years. A bit sad to see it go, really. You know, the park seems to have lost some of its big rides. I don't know if Mellors are doing a bit of stripping of the park's assets, but that's going. Hopefully something decent's going to go in its place. But on the other side of the park, where the Mouse roller coaster, which has been re-themed to like an ice mountain, that's opening next weekend. I didn't get to go on it, it wasn't working. and frisbee next to it wasn't working. But there used to be like 2 of these frisbees, like I think it's what they call a gyro swing, similar to Drayton Manor's Maelstrom. But they had 2 of them sort of things at that end of the park. There's only one now, and it wasn't even working. So, you know, operations across the park, you can tell there's a lot of new staff because they were slow, they were methodical. But wow, the length of time you were on the rides was outstanding. You know, you had minutes on the rides because obviously they're letting the queue build up. So they just, you know, that's great. But the one next to the Beast, it's this, I don't know what it was called, this bloody spinny ride. And I tell you what, we went on, I looked from a distance, thought, I don't mind that. I don't like spinny rides as a general, but we went on it and I come off as ill as they come. My wife, she couldn't go on any more rides after that. She was, you know, that was it. The cycle was too long and too intense. But obviously, you know, you go on rides, you look, you know, you can always make the mistake and go on the wrong ride. You go on the Beast and you're not into them, so you know, you're only just entering them rides. It will give you the shock of your life. You know, it's one of the top in the UK, like I said. So the park, it needs. I love the inside of the park. I love the inside of the pyramid. I think that's doing well. Certainly need to fix rides that haven't got all their ones working. That's an issue. Get that Sea Odyssey, sort that issue out because it, you know, it's not good enough. And maybe some new flat rides in, something to spruce it up. You know, maybe a few more kiddies rides. For the wristband price at this time of year, it's okay. You know, it's fair enough. But you know, in the summer months when they're paying a lot more, not great. You know. Obviously it's in a much better condition than it was years ago, although some of the people that go in that park. Now, I'm from St Anne's in Nottingham. I was born and bred there, you know, never had much money in life. Get by, as you do. We're not rich, we've got a nice house, you know, and we do the best for our situation, you know. I'd like to be richer, but wouldn't we all, you know. But to some people, we're probably rich, you know. But you look at these programmes on TV where they show disposable income, and our disposable income puts us in one of the poorest. So, you know, that opens your eyes to how much other people have got. But that's not the point, you know. And then you see what some of the people wear at these theme parks. Oh my God. And, you know, it's off-putting when you walk around. You think, oh, bloody hell. I mean, and you see a lot of the people, there's a lot of people who really need to look at what they wear before they go out in the mornings, you know. But I suppose you're at a seaside, people let their hair down and everything else, you know. It's an eye-opener. So if you go and you've not been there before and you think you're in a rough part of your city, yeah. I mean, for me, I'm from Nottingham and there's an area called Bulwell, and, you know, and you look at some of the people and oh dear. But saying that, you know, maybe it's aimed towards that clientele. But that's by the by. So Fantasy Island, we had a good day, but there's much room for improvement. It's better than it was years ago, but much room. I mean, luckily I got on all the big rides. Back to the beer, as most people wanted to listen to. So, this, yeah, it's beautiful. I can understand why it won Camera's Winter Beer a Britain Award. Because, you know, it's definitely one of them. It's, you know, it's like a Guinness, but with balls on. Definitely an older type of beer, you know. But 6.5%, it holds it well. You know, you can tell you're drinking a 6.5%. Look at that. Halfway down the glass. It's in the cellar cedar grass, which normally holds carbonation. And normally retains a head. Normally, not on every beer. And look at that, still. And whilst we're on the subject of beer, have you noticed when you'll pour a bottle of beer out, and most people aim in the glass like that and get it so there's all next to no head at all. And yet one of these beer sommeliers, that's how you pronounce it, he said that's the wrong way to pour your beer. The right way is to have a good bit of froth on your beer, because that turns into beer, back into beer anyway. But because of that, less carbonation, CO2, is going into your body. And he poured a beer like this with no head. He stuck this, whatever he stuck in, and it frothed up like a sod. And he said, that's what's in your stomach. When you drink that like that with not getting rid of that foam and CO2, that's what's in your stomach. That's why you're all bloated. Makes sense, I suppose. So then he poured it, and it had a big frothy head on. Let the frothy head die down, a little bit anyway. And then he put this thing in again, whatever he put in. Nothing. Didn't touch it. And that's why you get bloated. Now, I never knew that. So, actually good to have head on. You know, get rid of the CO2. Oh, so this fella, this is a by the side, by the fire drink, middle of winter, just before Christmas, watching your, you know, or Scrooge or them sort of films, you know, Polar Express, with the fire on, sitting there, getting canned, you know, 2 or 3 bottles of this, flipping heck, you'd be fast asleep after about half an hour. And after a long day. And I mean, I had a beer earlier, another supposed Canberra beer of Britain, Pheasantry's Best Bitter, up in Doncaster way. And that was nice, pleasant enough. And this, jolly decent. So, out of 5. Ooh. Break it down. Great black body, nice beigey cream head, good lacing, really nice malty aroma, licorice, like Christmas cake flavours, malty, caramel, that sort of thing. Damn good strong ale, and one that, you know, tastes good for the strength. Yeah, absolute English classic. 50 years old. Was it 1950? 1950? No, it's 70 years old. Wow. A beer that transcends time. Can't get any better than that. 4.6 out of 5. Just outside the top 10. But what a perler. Amazing. Well happy I tried it. Thanks for watching. See you soon.